Saint Kitts and Nevis, the last hour of the early general elections day to renew 11 of the 15 seats in the parliament are present. In Mexico, authorities report a rescue of more than 100 migrants who were traveling in a cargo truck in the state of Puebla. The Gaza Strip in Palestine saw an Israeli bomb attack that left at least 15 people dead, including a jihadist commander. Hello, welcome to From the South. I'm Ana Barrera from the teleSUR headquarters in Caracas, Venezuela. We'll be with the news. Stay with us. General elections are underway this Friday in Saint Kitts and Nevis to renew 11 of the 15 seats of the National Assembly. The elections are being held 3 years earlier than requested by the Constitution after Prime Minister Timothy Harris dissolved Parliament last May 10th. A total of 11 seats are at stake in these elections, where the 34 candidates from 6 parties are running, and more than 50,900 team of observers from the Caribbean community CARICOM arrived on Thursday to the nation's capital, headed by Guyana's Electoral Commissioner Sase Junrad. Stuart Richard Young, Minister of Energy from the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, arrived this Friday in Venezuela for an official visit to review cooperation agreements and to strengthen diplomatic ties maintained for 10 years. Vice President of the Economy and Minister of Petroleum Terrell Sami and the Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, Stuart Richard Young, evaluate bipartisan cooperation and business strategies in the field of hydrocarbon. It is important to highlight that the economic commercial relationship between Venezuela and Trinidad and Tobago is funding the development of projects in exploitation and exploration of hydrocarbons. These bilateral relations have been maintained uninterruptedly over time. The Mexican government rescued some 116 undocumented people who were being transported from in the back of the truck in the state of Puebla. Through a press release, the National Migration Institute said on Wednesday that federal agents were carrying out migrants' verifications actions of the Oaxaca-Izurca de Matamoros International Road in the state of Puebla when they noticed a turn-type truck circulating covered with tarpaulins. The vehicle was searched along with the state police, and the 73 men, 4 women and 9 minors were found inside. The officials transferred the migrants to the offices of the Migration Institute to continue the administrative processes, offered food and water. In Brazil, the political parties and party federations closed their conventions from the October presidential elections. The state-owned Agencia Brazil indicated that 34 political organizations registered with the Superior Electoral Court were authorized to hold their national election as from July 20th. According to the electoral calendar, after the names that will run for the office are defined, the parties, federations, and coalitions will have until August 15 to request the registration of candidacies. More than 156 million voters are registered to vote on October 2nd in elections in which the former President Luis Ignacio Lula da Silva is the leader in all the polls. In the framework of the National Health Day, the former President Luis Ignacio Lula da Silva participated in a meeting of defense in the single health system. The event took place in the middle of a free, democratic, and popular health day organized by the Front for Life and focused on the importance of the creation of a single system. According to the participants, this system is a public policy instrument that guarantees a free and universal care. During his speech, the former president expressed that he defends the valorization of the integral system and the expression of investments in health. Bolivia's Ministry of Health ruled out closing the borders to avoid a monkeypox arrival. The institution assured that World Health Organization does not recommend closing the borders. However, it indicates that the government will guarantee epidemiological strategies to identify the specific cases and systematically redirect them. The Ministry of Health, in coordination with the Mayor's Office of Santa Cruz, activated 2 isolation centers to attend free of charges to new infected people as part of a measure to block the spread of the disease. The head of the entity, Jason Ausad, also informed that 4 cases was identified this Thursday in the city of Santa Cruz. On Thursday, a team of Peruvian archaeologists found 3 burials from the Spanish colonial period, top of pre-Hispanic temple, which might be up to 500-year-old. According to Lucia Carrion, head of the Archaeological Directorate of the Park of Legends, the remains will belong to a colonial cemetery. The temple, or the pre-Hispanic sanctuary known as Tres Palos, where the supposed burial site is located, is more than 10,000 years old and is located in a pool of land adapted to a zoo. During the Inca period in the 50th and 60th centuries, the Tres Palos sanctuary was used as a tambo food deposit, and during the colonial period, above mud and swan houses were built. Peru was almost 300 years under Spanish rule from 1532, when it invaded and defended the Inca Empire, until 1921, when the South American country became independent.
What stands out is the cross that is carried on the chest. Apparently, the individual is with their hands on the chest, and this cross indicates that perhaps it is the moment when natives converted to Christianity.
We'll take a short break now. Join us again after this. Welcome back to From the South. In the United Kingdom, the avian flu outbreak affected from seabird colonies to commercial poultry farms. The environmental organization National Trust indicated that the surprising thing about this situation is the way in which different species are affected. The activities assured that species such as guillemots or terns could be affected by different diseases. They point out that these infections is not common, and in part they call on the authorities to work to stop the disease in these animals. China's Foreign Ministry on Friday announced unspecified sanctions on U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and her immediate family following her visit to Taiwan early this week. According to a statement from the ministry, Pelosi disregarded China's concern and a firm position to her visit. China did not specify what sanctions entail, but previous measures has restricted individuals from entering China, Hong Kong, or Macau or doing businesses there. However, such curbs are likely to be largely symbolic for the U.S. House Speaker. Pelosi, the second in line of presidency, was the highest ranking U.S. official to visit Taiwan in 25 years. The military exercises with China started on Thursday continue around the island of Taiwan in response to the visit of U.S. Congresswoman Nancy Pelosi. The second phase of large-scale military drills continue on Friday to uncover completely the island of Taiwan. The preceding drills featured advanced weapons including long-range rocket artillery, anti-ship ballistic missiles, still fighter jets, and aircraft carrying groups with nuclear-powered submarines. The exercises that planned to run through Sunday are not only of concern to Taipei from a military perspective, but also in other files related to people's daily lives, such as power supplies and flights on the island. South Korea's first lunar orbiter was launched Thursday from the United States in a year-long mission to observe the moon. The Nuri orbiter, which names is acronym of Korean words from moon and joy, is carrying on a Falcon 9 rocket launcher from Cape Canaveral in Florida by the aerospace company SpaceX. Its goal is to reach the moon in mid-December, and among other missions, it will search for landing sites from the future incursions to the moon. The foreign ministers of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations reaffirmed their commitment to address common challenges and maintain momentum in building a regional community with a strong sense of unity. It was announced in a joint communique issued by the 55th meeting of foreign ministers of the ASEAN held in Phnom Penh, the capital of Cambodia. With a conflict in Ukraine and tensions over Taiwan as context, this Friday's forums brought together foreign ministers of the regional bloc, together with the foreign minister of China, Wang Yi, Russia, Sergei Lavrov, and the Secretary of State of the U.S., Antony Blinken.
We know that every year we have our set of challenges to address, but I have to say that never before, not like this year, have we been confronted with so many perils at the same time.
This Friday, the departure of 3 vessels carrying grain from Ukrainian port was confirmed. The Joint Coordination Center in Istanbul approved the departure of 3 ships loaded with 58,000 tons of Ukrainian grain on this August 5 from the port of Odessa and Chernomorsk, said the body in charge of the inspections of the vessels informed. This after Russia, Turkey, and the UN signed an agreement on July 22 that seeks to unblock the export of grain and fertilizers from Ukraine in the midst of hostilities. Ukrainian government representatives signed a similar document with Ankara and UN representatives. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan met with his Russian counterpart Vladimir Putin on Friday in the Russian coastal city of Sochi for the day-long working visit. According to the Turkish presidency, Erdogan and Putin discussed regional and international issues as well as Turkey-Russian relations. Issues such as the Syrian crisis and the conflict in Ukraine now and in the 6 months were also on the table. Turkey, the UN, Russia, and Ukraine signed an agreement on July the 22nd to reopen 3 Ukrainian ports for grain exports that have been settled for months due to the outbreak of the military conflict. This is the second Erdogan-Putin in-person meeting in 17 days after their July meeting in Iranian capital Tehran, where the two had a trilateral meeting with his Iranian counterpart Ibrahim Raisi during ASEAN and formal talks on Syria.
An issue related to supplies of Ukrainian grain from the Black Sea ports has been resolved with your direct participation and with Secretary of the United Nations Antonio Guterres' organization's mediation. Supplies have already begun. I want to thank you for this and for the fact that at the same time, one packed decision has been made about uninterrupted supplies of Russian food and Russian fertilizers to world markets, because it's an issue for many countries, especially for developing countries.
We have more news coming up after this final short break, so don't go away. Welcome back. On Friday, Gaza Strip in Palestine saw a new Israeli bomb attack that left at least 15 people dead, including a jihadist commander. Gaza's health ministry preliminary toll said about 15 people were killed, among them a 5-year-old in a building targeted by the Israeli occupied in the central Ramallah neighborhood. Palestinian also mourned jihadist commander Tarsin al-Bahari, better known as Abu Muhammad. The strikers comes 4 days after Israel closed its two borders crossing with Gaza and restricting the movements of Israeli civilians living near the frontier, leading security concern and events at large gathering in communities within 80 of the Gaza frontier until Saturday evening. The measure followed the arrest in the occupied West Bank of jihadist leader Bassem al-Sadi and other senior members of Islamic Jihad. A 17-year-old member of the group was shot dead by Israeli forces during the raid. In EU bid to escalate tensions in Iraqi Shiites cleric Qara the call for traditional Friday prayers to be held in large square inside the Green Zone, where his followers are occupying parliament for the 17th consecutive day. The Green Zone refers to a safe area of Baghdad and the main points of Western Princess Index City. The call comes in tensions between his political bloc and the rival Shiite factions backed by Iran over the shape of the government. Qara Sarda, who leads a long-standing political and religious force in the war-torn country, won the most seats in the last year's October election, but an opposition coalition was formed that together managed to elect the prime minister. In view of the situation, Sarda demands early elections and the dissolution of the current parliament. On Thursday, Senegal's National Vote-Counting Commission announced the preliminary results of the legislative elections, and the ruling coalition is expected to lose its majority in the Congress. According to the president of the commission, Suri Alibara, the coalition of the party of Senegalese President Macky Sall had the absolute majority with 125 seats. Meanwhile, Benobo Yakar, United for Hope, has won 82 seats. Ranking third, the main opposition coalition, Yawi Akas Free the People, led by opposition leader Ousmane Sonko, won 56 seats, and his coalition Wallo Senegal won 24 seats. With a total of 165 seats in the National Assembly, parliamentary groups need at least 83 seats to obtain an absolute majority, so no coalition has necessary support in principle to form a new government.
The Wallo-Senegal coalition obtained 16 seats in the majority vote and 8 in the proportional vote for a total of 24 seats. The Yiki-ASEAN coalition also obtains some 39 seats by majority vote and 17 by proportional votes, making 56 seats altogether.
Main opposition coalition in Senegal says that they will not verify the polling station records of the latest elections until all pertinent documents are available to be examined.
What should also be noted as information is that the Yiwi-ASEAN coalition did not sign the report. We refuse to sign this report because we cannot accept this refusal of a right enshrined in the Electoral Code and its Article 11-142, which gives the possibility to all the representatives of the coalitions to have access to all the documents and to examine them. Today we asked the President of the National Commission to count the votes, and he rejected our requests. The Wallo-Senegal coalition obtained 16 seats in the majority vote and 8 in the proportional vote for a total of 24 seats. The Yiki-ASEAN coalition also obtains some 39 seats by majority vote and 17 by proportional votes, making 56 seats altogether.
Oh yeah, sorry, we have come to the end of this news brief, but you can find this and many other stories on our website at telesurenglish.net. You can also join us on our socials. We're on Facebook, Twitter, and on Instagram as well. That is in English and from the South. I'm Ana Marrero, and thank you for watching.